Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
No.
No? Okay. Can you hear me? Yes, you can hear me? Great. Good. Well, we have another minute or so before we get started. I'm Margie Moore at Big Orange Marketing. We are going to cover how to make Google love you today. I'll just show you a little bit of our office while we wait. That's not too crazy. This is our conference room. So this is where we're broadcasting from. We're in Cincinnati, Ohio. Our presentation today, we'll wait another minute and start. Okay, so it's 12 o'clock noon. Thank you for joining us for our presentation today about how to make Google love you, updated for 2022. I'm going to share my screen now. Thank you guys all for joining us. This is great attendance. Really appreciate it. Hope we provide some value here. Okay, here we go. So let me move into presentation mode. Let me back up. All right, that's a little preview for you of where we're going today. So our presentation today, is it working? Oh, you can't hear? Do you think people can hear?
Yes.
Okay, great. So we hope people can hear. So how to make Google love you. 7 top tips for SEO that you need to know in 2022. Okay, so what we're going to hit for our agenda today is tell you a little bit about Big Orange, what is SEO and why it matters, 7 top tips we're going to go through, and then we're going to bring it back into an action strategy. At the end, we'll have a poll and we'll randomly choose a winner. And we don't actually have access to the email addresses, so we'll try to figure that out, how to get your gift card to the winner at that time. Can everyone hear me okay? And Emily, can you read the chat if people can't? Everything's still going okay? Okay, great. All right, so a little bit about why we're the ones presenting to you here today is we're Big Orange Marketing. We have 15 plus years of digital marketing experience. We've helped dozens of clients win millions in business. We're HubSpot partners. We're StoreBrand certified guides as well. And this is part of our team here for you today that developed this talk. So first of all, what is SEO and why do we care so much? So search engine optimization is the art of ranking high on search engines in the unpaid section, also known as the organic search listings part. That's Neil Patel's definition. Today, 87% of shoppers begin their purchase online before they make any purchase decisions. 5.6 billion Google searches happened per day in 2021. The last time we did this talk, that was about 2.2 million. So you can see the pandemic has really even escalated even more online purchases, online search, and things like that. And as an inbound, as we are talking really inbound strategy, you have an 8.5 times higher chance of converting someone to a customer if they find you for what they are searching for and view you as the expert. So what matters for ranking today? SEO algorithms are constantly changing. Google changes with new updates all the time. Target keywords with the sole intent of just using keywords no longer works. That's a very old strategy from quite a few years ago. But keywords still matter, and Google provides us guides. To start with, 2 important points: beneficial purpose and EAT. So beneficial purpose means that the websites and pages you create should be created to help users, to help them solve their problems, things like that, to provide value. The EAT acronym stands for expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. Your content and your web pages should show all of those things. So expertise. Are the creators of this content experts? Do they have credentials to back it up? Authoritativeness. Do they have generally recognized authority? In the MSP world, that would be something like certifications, lots of years in practice. Trustworthiness. honest, true, accurate information, and also free of mistakes. Very easy to catch if you have grammatical errors, spelling errors, that kind of thing can really hurt your credibility. So that's very easy to catch and make sure you're not doing that. All right, it's not magic. There's a lot of things we can do to help ourselves rank on search. So now we're going to get into the top 7 tips. Tip number 1 is to be credible. Does your website build credibility? Does it show your authentic team and build a relationship? Does it look professional? Are you overusing stock images? Could you do a photo shoot? There's lots of resources today like Snapper or Thumbtack where you can hire a photographer very affordably and get someone to get some real images of your team with good lighting, and lots of different scenarios are great too. Does your website include pictures of your team? Does it include bios of who they are and their backgrounds with some of that credibility, certifications, years in the fields also defined? So then very important part here, is it clear what you are selling? So in StoryBrand methodology, we call this the grunt test. Are your services transparent? Could a caveman come to your site? Would he know what you are selling? Would he know how it benefits him? And would he know how to buy it? So that's the grunt test from StoryBrand. And we do always apply that test. And does your website or content have errors? Be sure to check for those grammatical and spelling type of errors. Visually here, this is Neil Patel. On the right, his blogs always seem to have this. A lot of his core pages do as well. His picture, and then a little bit about all his time, his publications, all of that, building his credibility in a very nice way. Tip number 2, write for people. Write for humans and not for search engines. Answer your users, your customers, your potential clients, answer their questions. Help people find what they are looking for. Use simple language, short sentences. Clearly share how you help solve your ideal customers' problems, how you solve their pain points. Don't use jargon. Another great way to get content ideas or how to do your messaging on your website is ask your sales team what are common objections they hear and address those objections right on your website, right in your blog post. Use a question and answer format in blog posts. This is a very good idea because of voice search today. So use that format when you write blog posts. Provide conversion paths. So when people are on your website and they're maybe not ready to reach out to you yet, give them some next steps they could take, like a downloadable or a sales funnel that they could go to stay on your page longer, or lead them to the next action they could take on your website. Tip number 3, get testy. Do a user experience test of your website and also audit your content. So a really simple way to do this is to sit with someone who's not already familiar with your company and observe them, like have them say, can you find our services and what we're selling? Can you find our testimonials? Just ask them some questions and don't tell them how to find it, but just watch what they do. Can they find that? And we do know from SEO reasons, SEO background research, that having your services as your first navigation dropdown is probably always a good idea. So don't forget to do that. Can people understand the language you are using, or are you using overly complex words? There's tools like usertesting.com. You can run a really affordable test. There's also the Google Webmaster list of 23 questions. We have that on our blog, on our website, our version of it. So we'll share that as a resource back on our website. We'll bring that up again so you can find it easily. And then audit your content. You're looking for high bounce rates, things like that you should clean up and get blog posts that also have no visits. Those are things you should clean up. High level, here is some of the Google Webmaster 23 questions. This has been around for a while. It hasn't really changed a ton. Would you trust the information presented in the article? Is this article written by an expert or an enthusiast, or is it kind of shallow in nature? Does the site have duplicate content, overlapping content, redundant articles? Are they just sort of trying to keyword jam? Are you comfortable? Would you be comfortable giving your credit card to this website? That's a very good test to ask yourself. Does the article have spelling, stylistic, factual errors? So all of the things we are sharing do come right from Google. and our best practices. All right, tip number 4, chip away. Create an SEO strategy and then chip away at optimizing your core pages 3 to 4 pages per week. So start with your core services pages, your homepage, and make sure those pages are optimized first before you move into that content plan. Do that keyword research. You know, you can do it on Google Ads. You just find your way to the keyword planner using the wrench in the top navigation, and then search for keyword planner. Or there's also a tool called SpyFu, which is relatively affordable, and there are free versions of it. So research your top terms, look at your competitors. What are the top terms they are doing? You can look at your competitors through SpyFu. You build that keyword list and identify which of your core services pages should win for each of your core terms. And suggestion is if your core pages are not optimized for search, and you're an internal person, go ahead and see if you could update 3 pages this week. When we work with people who are not already optimized, we pick up cadence and we try to update, page by page based on a cadence we are trying to meet. Don't reuse the exact same keywords on more than one page. You can use freebies like the Yoast plugin to guide you on what it means to optimize each page. Here visually is what the Yoast tool looks like. So the top up here, this is your red light, green light. It's actually green light, orange light, red light. Orange is you are almost there. This is, you would put your focus keyword here. And then the red lights are telling you the things that you need to improve to get to the green light. Orange is things that you want to think about. And green is once you've done the things to optimize that page for search, they move down into the green section. So just a little visual that this is a very easy to use tool. Just plug it into your content. All right. So now that you've got your core keyword strategy, Google doesn't like to see websites created and then set them and forget them. That doesn't help you rank for search. So the content plan, you need to keep hitting on a regular cadence. If it's 2 posts a week, if it's 2 posts a month, it's just a very good idea to keep on a regular cadence. So you've created that you create the targeted content plan to get to more keywords than your core keywords. So like if your core keywords are IT support, Tampa, then the longer tail version would, how to evaluate IT support Tampa services, or something with a little bit longer tail than the core words. So you start and the way you do this content plan is you think about your target audience, the people who are the humans that you are trying to help solve their problems. What are their pain points? What are their goals? So you think about each person, and then you come up with content ideas to address those pain points and goals. What questions do they have? What do you know that you can share with them? You brainstorm 5 to 10 5 to 10 topic ideas for each customer, and just do that in a brainstorm, and then clear it up and bring it back into a plan that you can manage. Then match those ideas up with the keywords from your list. And then the way to create that content is interview the thought leaders in your own team and create useful content that's very share-worthy. Another update for 2022 is competition is very fierce out there. A lot of people are get very digitally savvy and working to be found for the core keywords. You have a lot of competition. So if you are a regional type of product where you serve a region, like you're just perhaps you're just doing IT services or financial advisor for Cincinnati. If you're a regional type of search, we suggest putting a long tail multi-location plan into place. The way we do this is we think about the areas you serve. Look at your Google Maps and your suburbs, like in Cincinnati, there's suburbs like Mason, Ohio, Westchester, Ohio, Blue Ash. These suburbs have names and they're visible to Google on your Google Maps. So come up with what are the 10 to 5 recognized sort of little smaller suburbs that you would service, and think about business areas. You really only care about being in places where people would would purchase your services. So then the way that you do this long tail strategy is, you've already optimized your core pages for those core words. You're going further down your keyword list, and you're trying to create a volume of pages about your services plus multi-locations. I know this is kind of a complicated thought. We're happy to explain it more. I hope that's a good sort of starter to get you excited for that as a strategy in 2022. Okay, so visually, credibility here is one of our authors' pages and how that looks at the bottom of a blog post. Nice, clean aesthetic from SWOT Systems, how they show who the author of this post was, a little bit about their credibility, nice visual image, and name. Okay, tip number 6. Speed matters. Things that are slowing your website down are hurting your search. So you can run some free reports on these sites here, Google Page Speed Insights. There's the URL right there. And figure out what your grade is, if you will. And then anything that is found, like larger images, compress them using a thing like Smush, Tiny, PNG, or the other one that's .io, and smush them and then move them back up into your website. In general, remember to only load images as large as you need. Leverage browser caching, and these are just sort of the tip of the iceberg to make sure you're speeding your website up. All right, tip number 7, backlinks matter. Very hard to get backlinks. Building that credible content is the way you build backlinks, but also give to get. So give link juice. So if you also need to link out to good content and then be requesting links to your content. You link out to credible content that boosts your rankings, but you do it in moderation. You can also build long form pillar content pages, like complete guides, not in a downloadable, but a guide that is on a landing page with tons of links to resources. And that is a way to build a lot of authority in the area that you are serving and selling. So get inbound links, doing guest posts on other blogs. Try writing for one of your customers and asking if you can load something on one of their blogs. We do know it's very hard to get backlinks. So it's a tough strategy, tough nut to crack. So then also be thinking about places like what chambers can you join and be listed up on a chamber, and then can you contribute articles to that chamber? Can you do a talk with that chamber or trade association? Things like that are probably the easiest ways to get links. It is a hard thing. Visually, here we're sharing your content needs to be shared out through social media. We didn't really hit that very much in detail, but Custom Builder we work with, creating content for humans, it does get good shares, which is what you want to do. All right, so bonus, extra tip number 8, nuts and bolts. So some of the things to take care of to help Google love you, to raise up in those search rankings, is to set up your Google Search Console, set up your Google Analytics. Be sure to submit your sitemap to Google, and not just once. Like if you are putting a bunch of those long tail pages together, resubmit those. Keep that going. Look for and remove all duplicate content, not just content that's duplicate within your own sites, but if you have any content that is duplicated or copied off of some other site, make sure you get rid of that as well. You never want to have duplicate content. Make sure all photos are named for the keywords that you're trying to win for on the page where they are loaded. Right, unique metas for each page. Your URLs that you name each page should be readable words. And then also important is Google reviews. You do want to try to get those. Put a link to your Google review in your signature link. One client is a place-based, and they hand out postcards and ask people to Google review them. Here's a visual of Google reviews as you would manage them through Google My Business. Here's a visual Always a good idea on your website, keep a link to how to give a Google review on your website so that any team member, when someone gives a compliment, any team member can find that link and share that link right from your website. So there is, a few more things to SEO and ranking well and making Google love you. We talked a lot about, there's 3 parts, really: content, structure, and the technical things. We hit a lot of the content things and a little bit of the technical things and the structural things. If you're having some trouble making headway on being found for what you're selling, it might be a good time for a professional SEO audit to check out what might be going on and see if you're going after possibly the right things. All right, so bringing it back to an action plan, we're going to put this together for you and recap everything. Tip number 1 was to be credible. Review your website with a fresh eye. Is it professional? Is it mobile friendly? Tip number 2, write for humans. Review your homepage. Does it have jargon? Is it written with a beneficial purpose to help users, to answer their questions, to help them understand what helps their business? Test your user experience. Could you ask someone in a peer group to look at your website with fresh eyes and evaluate that? Tip number 4, chip away at keywords. Go to Google Ads, click in the upper right, find that keyword planner, have fun, and start to look at what keywords should you be ranking for. Tip number 5, content. Brainstorm some ideas. Gather maybe a group of people together and brainstorm some ideas. Get that all drafted down, and then come up with your highest priority and just start to create a content strategy that you can sustain at a good cadence. Speed matters. Check out your Google page speed insights. Go to that website, look yourself up and see if speed might be holding you back. Tip number 7, give link juice. To get link juice, is there a pro spotlight or a customer series you could start in your core topic? We didn't even talk much about that, but maybe if you have several business customers, they'd love to be reviewed by you with a pro spotlight. Nuts and bolts. Could you ask someone on your team to be in charge of Google review management? Could you add it to your scorecard that you talk about each week and encourage every member of the team to reach out for those Google reviews? Okay, so if you're not sure what to do next, let me see if I can replay the KCAT. We can always help with these kinds of things. These are the types of things that we take care of in our monthly growth packages. Okay. So we were going to do a poll so put your answer in the chat. What's your biggest challenge regarding SEO or coming up in the Google rankings? Is it strategy? You don't have a clear SEO strategy, or you don't have a good handle on the keywords? Is it content? You don't have a content plan or no ability to consistently post? Is it maybe a speed or a technical issue? Your website might be slow. Maybe it was not built for speed. Is it a messaging problem? My website doesn't clearly show what we do or how it benefits the users or how to work with us. And then, or maybe you were just, point number 5, you were just here for my cat meme. So answer in the chat, and we'll use the randomizer to select a winner. We don't have access to everyone's emails who is on this. So we'll have to figure out, if you're comfortable, maybe just send me a quick email at Margie@BigOrangeMarketing with your email address, and we'll randomize through that. And if you don't want to be on our email list for any updates, just let me know, and we'll be sure to work to not put you in our email list as best we can. We're going to make a list of these Google resources available on our blog. They are already there. We will move them up in time so that they're easier to find. And then here is my plug for working with Big Orange Marketing. If you choose to work with us, you get a team of experts, you get small firm attention, you get complete management, you get to work with seasoned pros. We have a lot of experience, and we work to keep our skills fresh. We're affordable. We're located here in the Midwest. And most of all, we deliver what others promised. We're honest, and we know what it takes to get ranked for search and to help you get found and to help you convert those visitors to leads. So we do what others promise. And if you have any questions, this is my contact information. I will see if I can make my way back here and stop screen sharing. I figure out how to, okay. Oh, there we go. Great. So thank you guys for attending. I appreciate it a lot. A lot of people here. Thank you very much. I will open up the chat again. I think I should be able to see this. Does anyone have questions? I'm going to view the chat. Thank you. Oh, there's the answers. Thank you, guys. Does anyone have a question? Lack of good content plan, lack of experience, speed is a problem, strategy. Does anyone have a question I might be able to answer at this time, or we could stop recording? And thank you for coming. Thank you, Mike. Okay, I don't see any questions coming through, so thank you, guys. Hope this was helpful. All right, take care.